Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play a Game of Thrones Crusader Kings 2 mod. Now I've given some thought to who I was going to play as, and I decided it had to be someone of the faith, which rules out the Iron Islands and the North, well most of it anyway, as I like, I think it's kind of interesting knighting your sons and buying knighthood, but you'll see all that later. From there, still gave me a lot of options. And I wanted to see how it would turn out if the Mad King did survive. So I'd like to play as somebody loyal. That leaves me to the Reach and Dorne. And I kind of like the Reach simply because, I don't know, I've always liked his name, Mace Tyrell. But, playing as a high up power, I can't achieve much after that. So I decided to go down one and become a well, CK2 style, it's a Duke, but still a Lord in here. And I'm going to play as Lord Leighton the Old Hightower. He's very interesting because his brother is actually the commander of the King's Guard, a group of highly trained knights who are sworn to protect the king with their last breath. And it's kind of interesting, adds some honor to our family. So I'm going to start up. I've done a little bit of playtesting with him. So far it's been alright. I haven't failed epically yet. Go ahead and start off, and this video will serve as more of an intro than a true beginning. I've already told you who I'm going to pick. I'm also going to say my plans and some off the bat stuff you should know of this mod. First off, you see all of this color of green, this kind of light green, all mine. My personal domain is Old Town, but Three Towers, Sun House, all of that, those are my vassals who theoretically should follow me. We shall see how that turns out. We can go up to Council, and you see they've actually changed and added some. They have a Castilian. Sorry if I pronounce these wrong, I haven't really read the books, so I haven't really got used to these words yet. Stewardship. It's kind of interesting because 2 jobs required stewardship. So, you can't really choose your best. You have to have 2 really good guys if you want to be very good. Of course, the other one's Master of Coin. Then we have Master of Laws, Master of Arms, Master of Whisperers, excuse me. And then down here, see, nothing there, it's a Meister. Now in the book, they're somewhat of a tutor to the children. They're somewhat of scholars. What's interesting about them is you actually have to send for one from the Citadel, which actually is one of my vassals of a sort in CK2 terms. I'll go ahead and send for one. It costs a little bit of money, but they're very valuable. They can make your children much better before they even come of age, which is 16 if you didn't know. If I look at my family tree here, there's me. Very appropriately named the Old 52, which back then, kind of old. My traits, I'm an incompetent steward. That actually doesn't take away anything, as I would expect. Lustful, oh yeah, that's very, very helpful. Shy, I don't see how those two go together. Humble and authoritative. Now, I've noticed most of the main characters in the book, or important people, have that. Like, say, let's see here, the Lord Paramount of the North, Lord Eddard Stark. He also has that, so I guess that makes me pretty important. Now, the game automatically picks the best people for these, so I won't adjust them. I'll just put them in my home territory. I'm going to have him oversee, which is a combination of collecting taxes and uncovering plots and just making everything run a little bit faster and better. For our Master of Laws, I'm actually going to send him to fabricate claims to the north on Norcross, which is currently owned by Lord Alistair Florent. I figured I might as well expand into my own kind of area instead of going out towards the Dorne, because I don't want to anger their Lord Paramount, Doran Martell, I believe. Yeah. And as you can see, things look a bit fragmented here. It's actually because of this right here, the War of the Usurper. Lord Paramount Robert Baratheon, I believe that's how you say. He owns this yellowish color. He has declared war on the king, who is lunatic. So, good for him. But it's actually the guy I'm helping. The crazy one, that is. And joined by him is the Lord Paramount of the Vale, which is that mountainous region. Hoster, I believe, of the Riverlands, which is like, the fertile area with rivers, hence Riverlands. And then Lord Editor of the North, who controls the wintry area, what you would think of as the North. And joining the king, however, is his son, who owns right there, Dragonstone, I think it is. Dragonstone, and a little bit over there. And he's joined by the Lord Paramount of Dorne, the Lord Paramount of the Reach, my liege, and Lord John of Griffin's Roost. I'm not really sure who he is, to be precise, but, And over here we got the Westerlands, actually right there, by the Lannisters. Sorry if these aren't the way you pronounce it. Him and Lord Balin Greyjoy, they're somewhat neutral. That may be subject to change. And the war might be decided just on who Lord Tywin, again, sorry for the names, might be decided about who he joins. He can go one way or the other, and, he's pretty rich. He has very good land, so he can help out a lot. Now, enough for the history lessons here and such. We'll focus more on home. So I start off with an income of 4.43. It's not that bad. It could be a lot better, but I can refine that by building more. I start off with a good shipyard, which is, I guess, exclusive to Old Town. It's very nice. And then we just have a small castle, which isn't actually that small in this mod. Castles are much, I guess, bigger and more important. And armies are much larger, as you'll see soon, whenever I get a chance to see my lord raise the troops. Now, back to the family tree before I got off that tangent. There I am, Lord Leighton, and my wife, Lady Rhea, actually a Florent, so somewhat of a backstab to fight him, but I don't care about her, really. I'm old, I can do what I want. Now on to my children. My heir is Baelor Brightsmile. He's attractive, or so I hear. He's a pretty good heir. He's got a 12 martial. He could be like a hunchback dwarf. So, it could be worse. He's a bit paranoid though. Not all that bad. My oldest daughter here, Melora, the Mad Maid. She's lunatic. She's also patient though, so not all that bad. She's celibate, so she's pretty much useless in terms of, well, getting marriages. The only person who would marry her is a 2-year-old boy. So I might send her off somewhere. My second eldest daughter, Illyria, she's alright. She's actually married to the Lord Paramount of the Reach, the owner of all this green here, so it's a very good marriage there. Makes me very important. Also a good ally to back me up. Then my next daughter, Alyson, names again. She is already married to Lord Arthur of Torrantsby. I guess that's another alliance I have there. Next daughter. I'm not going to go through the children, but they will actually come of age soon. Most of them are 15. My last daughter, she is married to a red wine. The red wine's on this little piece of land right there. Actually, they might own more. I'm not all sure, but these are the closest ones. And his twin sons, Hobber Slobber and Horace Horror. Very good names. I'm probably going to marry my one of my daughters to them, simply because of the name. It's very nice. Hobber will eventually become the leader of this island, so it'll probably be him. It's a twin. from there, I think I talked about my my half brother here. He's actually the Lord Commander of the entire King's Guard. He's a Marshal of 19. I've seen better, but I mean, he's also a skilled commander. He's 49, and they call him the White Bull. He's a very important man. I mean, he gets things done. Let's see here. I have some, there's very unique ambitions slash plots. More on the ambition side and these decisions that you can do. You got the standard invite nobles, but now you got to establish a household guard. And what that seems to do is it gives you guys you can command around, and I probably won't use them right now, but they can enforce land. They can, they're essentially like more specialized councilmen who I will actually put into position now. Some standard things I usually do. Back to the decisions. You can show tourney medal winners. Excuse me. There's actually, once the world becomes of peace again, there will be many tourneys people will invite me to. Whether it be, little tiny lords, or it might, be actual Mace Tyrell himself who invites me. But you get prestige from becoming winners of first, second, third, but it's a double-edged sword. You may also lose martial because you do so bad you're shamed. Your tactics are terrible. Then we go to knighthood. I'm not very good at martial. I'm an 8, so I can't be a normal knight, but I can always bribe a drunk septum, excuse me, and he'll let me in. Then I can knight all my children, make them more popular. That's probably what I'll do. It's actually relatively inexpensive. And then you see the Silent Sisters. I'm not too familiar with what they are. I assume they have something to do with the dead. They're, I guess, sort of like nuns. I'm not all too sure, but probably where I'm going to send Melora. I get 200 piety. It's pretty good, because then I only have 15 now. And I wasn't going to use her anyway, so seems a good job for her since she's already celibate. And then I can force my children to train. I will not be doing this often, because on the one side you can have a 64% chance to make them better, but then there's the other chances where they'll be maimed and wounded. And I don't want, like, my heir a maimed man when he comes of age. That would be very bad, and I would feel bad until I die. Then I'd literally feel bad because I was maimed. Anyway, that's pretty much the first start. I'm going to assign my technology. All the technology stuff is the same as CK2. I just go in siege equipment and legalism. That's what I normally do. So I own more land, get better taxes from castles, and take down castles faster. Laws. I have ducal laws. Everyone starts off at Gavelkind, which isn't that bad for me considering I only own one province. So I'm going to keep it like that, just not to make them angry. From there, you can see the Reach has Gavelkind. Pretty much everything does. And we're autonomous, which they'll try to change that soon. I think that concludes our, pre-start thing. My strategy for pausing and unpausing, I just keep it full speed unless, war breaks out, which it has, but I'm not going to be participating much. Or if something crazy is happening, like children being born and such, I usually keep it pretty high up there. Now, here's a really cool thing with the mod. You can play with seasons, which, if you're familiar with the book, seasons last a long time. You might have a 10-year winter. And you could start off with, a short summer, a normal, long. I'm not going to play with seasons. I haven't played with them yet. Well, my first game I have. I didn't really pay attention to what they did, but I'm going to keep them off for now since I don't want to do something and then not know what it does. I'll learn that later, and maybe for a second playthrough, I'll keep it on. And you can see here, Mace Tyrell wants limited crown authority. I'm sure, why not? And then the Meister arrives. Now, I'm pretty sure it just sends a random Meister. You can actually send people